believe how this one simple craft supply has saved me hundreds, and I'm guessing you already have it in your craft stash. Let's be real. Paper crafting is so much fun, but supplies are expensive and they're not getting cheaper. As paper crafters, we're always looking for new ways to save, and I think I found one. Today I'm sharing the one supply I can't live without. It's cheap as chips, it never runs out, and boy does it stretch my stash. So what's the big secret to saving your papercraft budget? Make the most of the supplies you already have. Now, I know that might seem obvious, but stick with me because there's one product that makes that easy. So easy. A simple SVG cut file. And even if you're already a fan, chances are you're not making the most of them. They're my secret weapon and they've saved me hundreds. So today, let me show you the best ways to use SVG cut files to stretch your stash, save your craft budget, and unlock a new level of creativity. Today, I'll be creating a summer-themed layout featuring this cut file, which I'll be sharing with my patrons. I also have stunning supplies from Hip Kit Club, which you can get at 10% off when you use code Created by Gwen at checkout. All of the details are linked in the description box below, including how to download the SVG file. I'll get to creating in a moment. First, I want to talk about what I call orphan papers and how SVG cut files can save them. So orphan papers are those single sheets of paper that you bought because you love the pattern or the color, but they don't quite match anything else in your stash and then never get used. We all have them, and sad news, there are other orphan supplies too. Stickers, embellishment packs. I'm sure you'll find plenty of them hiding in the back of your drawers. Washi tape. SVG cut files to the rescue, here to save orphan craft supplies. And I think you'd be surprised at the random things they can bring together. This next idea is all about making your supplies work even harder for you. This is for those super specific paper collections you have. The themed supplies. Think Christmas, fall, baby. This is for those super specific supplies. The themed ones. Think Christmas, Halloween, baby. They are all really beautiful. Yes, but they're not very versatile. Once you've used that reindeer paper on your Christmas photos, what do you do with the rest of it? Wait until next year? We all have these themed supplies in our stash, and that's why I use cut files to help me repurpose them. When you use a themed SVG file, you are no longer locked into the original theme of your paper. You can mix and match and adapt it to be any theme you like. And that's what I'm doing today. The Hip Kit Club collection I'll be working with today is called This Is Life, and it's themed around being at home. But I'm going to twist it and create a summer themed layout. It will be super easy to adapt it to my photo because I'm going to let my cut file do all the heavy lifting. Let me show you how I've taken these themed supplies and transformed them into a summer layout. And keep watching because I also have 3 more big ideas to share with you. I'm working with a detailed cut file today, so I do want to place it onto a plain background. For contrast, I'll use this pretty floral pattern paper to mount my photo and the layout. I'm going to use a bunch of the papers from the kit to back my cut file. You know, they really are the perfect thing for those of us who feel guilty throwing away paper scraps. I know I'm using larger paper scraps here, but a cut file like this one is actually perfect for using up those weirdly shaped pieces, the ones that are probably too small for a photo mat or the wrong size for a border. You can use your tiniest paper scraps like puzzle pieces to back your design. It's amazing how you can turn a few paper scraps into a really large feature element for your page like this. It already feels like my page is put together and all that design work has been done for me. All I need to do now is position my photo, add my embellishments and a title. Let me know in the comments, are you team silhouette, team cricket or team something else? I'd really love to know, what's your favourite machine? For my title, I'll start by using these alphas that came in the kit. The blue is the prettiest blue ever. It's like a periwinkle, bluish purple. It's super pretty. I really want to nestle it into the design of the cut file, so I am going to run it along the edge of the beach line there. I'm going with the title Summer Days, and I am going to switch out the alphabet for the word days with puffy stickers from another hip kit. I am being quite fussy here in terms of the positioning, and that's because this is part of the layout that the eye will be really drawn to. I'm loving how that looks, so I now want to turn my attention to my photo. This is quite a small photo actually. It's only 2 by 3 inches, but I thought it was the perfect size to nestle into my cut file and fits really well with the layout of my page. I'm going to build a small embellishment cluster in the bottom right-hand corner of the photo, and I've chosen that side because I want to connect the photo to the other elements I have already on the page. I was a little worried that it might look like it was floating up there in the sky, so the embellishment cluster really helps to ground it. I hope you're already looking at your craft stash a little differently. And if you don't want to miss more of my tips, tricks and ideas, be sure to press the subscribe button like a sticker to a scrapbook. Your subscription lets me know that you find my videos fun and helpful, and allows our creative community to grow. While I continue to audition all of my embellishments here, I need to tell you more about how SVGs can help you do more with less. They're the simplest way I found to do this, because when you buy a cut file, you don't just own one embellishment. You own the ability to make as many as you like. You can use a single flower SVG today to cut a large 3-inch flower from, say, pink cardstock. Tomorrow, you can use the exact same file to cut a tiny 1-inch flower, this time from pattern paper. And next week, you could cut 10 of them from vellum for a really soft, dreamy look. The file is a one-time cost, but you can use it forever. This means you need to buy fewer physical embellishments. So instead of having a huge inventory of flowers in every size and colour, you end up with just one good floral SVG that you can change to suit any project you like. Very recently, I asked you all a question on the community tab here in YouTube. I asked, what craft supply do you own but never use? And I was actually really surprised by some of your answers. There are quite a few of you not using your Silhouette and Cricut machines, so I hope today's video helps change that. If I haven't convinced you just yet, there is still one more big idea I've yet to share. I will get to that, but first I really need to finish this layout. I have all of my main elements now in place, and it's time to audition some extra embellishments. It's especially at this point that I'm looking to add dimension and texture. I'm also looking for more medium to smaller sized embellishments, so a lot of the searching through supplies is actually about excluding things. It's one of the reasons I love these kits so much. They have a really broad range of size of embellishments, and there's always a really good mix of things. There's paper die cuts, and then chipboard pieces, and then like puffy stickers. So lots of options to mix and match. The other thing is that the kits match each other across months. So these puffy stickers are not from the current kit that I'm working in. They're from a previous kit, but they still coordinate perfectly. I'm loving too that these ones are slightly smaller than the ones I've used for the word summer, which makes my title nice and interesting. The other thing I'm paying a lot of attention to at this point is the balance of colours. I want all of the colours on the layout to feel very balanced, and I often do this by creating a visual triangle. So for this page, it's easiest to see the one that's in that pretty shade of purpley blue. I've obviously used that in my title. I've then added it in the flower of the palm tree on the far right. So to balance that, I've added it in a sentiment that's above my photo there on the left. Oh yes, and here's me showing you the flow of the page. I really want the eye to be drawn straight to the photo and then move across the layout left to right. So there's a couple of things happening here. I am focusing on creating those visual triangles to balance out the colours, but I'm also really trying to keep all of the embellishments in the same flow that I just talked about. If you look carefully, you'll see I've done the same thing with the pink flowers and added 3 pops of yellow. I am creating visual triangles and everything is being added in that same band that I was talking about within the flow of the page. I do also audition a lot of things in a lot of different places, and you don't always see all of that on my YouTube videos because of the power of editing. I think you might be surprised at just how long it takes me to decide what should go where. Things are getting serious because I'm gluing stuff down. Whilst the layout's almost done, I will share close-up images here for you in a moment. I do still have one more big idea that I don't want you to miss because I think I might have left my favourite till last. It feels so good to get another layout done and a little more of that kit used up. But that actually creates another classic scrapbooking problem. What happens once you've made a few pages and you're now down to the last bits and pieces of your kit? 2 sheets of pattern paper, maybe some stickers? The big impressive pieces, your favourites, are now all used up and you're not even sure if you have enough to create just one more layout. The last thing you want is to throw what's left into the back of a drawer. How are you going to use up those last pieces? Cut files to the rescue, ready to stretch those supplies to their absolute limit. With those last papers and a few clever cut files, you can create all the embellishments you'll need. A tag, title, or floral element, and they'll match the kit perfectly because they've been cut from the paper in the kit. This ensures you get incredible value from any kit or collection you buy and stops your stash from being filled with unusable supplies. There's no doubt that cut files are a game changer when it comes to your craft budget, but not everyone has access to them, and learning a new software can be tricky. The good news is that there is even easier ways to save, and I share them all in this video. Watch it to learn 11 practical tips that will work with every crafter and start saving money today. Thank you so much for being here, my creative friends. I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, bye.